Hello and welcome to the New Indian Express. The terrorist attack at Pahalgam has shaken India. 28 lives were lost, and many call it the deadliest attack India ever faced. Eyewitnesses have described scenes of chaos and horror. Investigations are on, and security agents have begun combing operations to nab those behind the attack. Former Vice Chief of Army Staff of the Indian Army, Lieutenant General Sarath Chand, who led the counter-insurgency force in Kashmir, joins me now to analyze the deadliest terrorist attack. After retirement, he has now joined the BJP in 2019. Let's listen to him. Hello, sir. Welcome to the New Indian Express. So, sir, for my first question, what are your thoughts on the terrorist attack in Pahalgam?
Yesterday afternoon, Pahalgam witnessed one of the worst attacks on civilians, on innocent civilians, by the terrorists in the entire history of Kashmir militancy. 29 innocent, precious lives have been lost, and it's been perpetrated by people from across the border in Pakistan. It's often said by Pakistanis that these are operations carried out by local militants on their own or Pakistan militants on their own. But the fact remains that it is not only with the backing of Pakistan, but it is also with the connivance, planning, support, and intelligence of Pakistanis. This attack has been actually so well timed to take place at a time when the US Vice President is in India, the Indian Prime Minister is on a visit to Saudi Arabia, a major Muslim country, and when Kashmir is developing economically, the tourist season is at its peak, and we have a new government in place in Kashmir. So this is a very clear attempt to derail the peace and tranquility which exists in the valley, and definitely it's with the support and logistical support as also operational support from the Pakistani establishment.
Okay, sir. Now, since yesterday, the local population in Jammu and Kashmir have been agitated. They have come out in protests and with candlelights, being agitated at the series of events that are taken place in Palgam. So, sir, since this is one of the rare moments that the union government and the central government actually has the support of the local population, do you think that this will actually help in wiping out terrorism completely from Jammu and Kashmir?
Definitely. It is said that insurgency cannot survive without the local support. Normally, what happens is insurgency. Insurgency means a population going against a legitimate government. So, if there is no support from the local population, insurgency cannot survive. In this particular case, the effort of the Pakistani establishment has always been to showcase this as an insurgency. It is not with uh, the entire population of Kashmir has never been support of an insurgency. Is that militancy does not necessarily need to have the kind of local support. It is through coercion, it is through threatening, it is through external force that a militancy survives. Now, because of the fear of militancy, of militants and the fear of being killed, the local population never came out in support of the security forces, never came out against militants whenever such incidents have taken place in the past. But this is a rare occasion where we find all the shops in Jammu and Kashmir closed. You have the government in power of Sri Omar Abdullah condemning this. The opposition parties have condemned this. All parties across the country, including all opposition parties, they have all vehemently condemned this incident. In particular, there's a very positive sign that we see in Kashmir, It reflects the development that has taken place over the years, last about 5, 6 years. It reflects the economic uh, development that has taken place, how much the population has benefited from this economic development, and they don't want to let it go by this, which takes place by the support of Pakistanis.
Okay, sir. Now, in your experience, what would you say are going to be the immediate fallouts or the aftermath of this terrorist attack?
Immediate fallout of the attack can both be tactical, that is locally, as also the outside. First and foremost is at the national level. Uh, we are fortunate to have a very, very experienced leadership. The Prime Minister has been in chair for 10, 12 years now. The Home Minister is an extremely experienced person. We have a governor who's been in place for such a long time. And we have Shri Omar Abdullah, who is a current Chief Minister, who is also a very, very experienced hand. With all of them there, I'm sure they will take a considered decision as to how to tackle the origin of this problem. The people who carried out the attack yesterday were mere tools. The militants are expendable assets of the Pakistani establishment. They couldn't care less if they were killed or if they survived. But and it will not, killing 5 or 6 of these militants also will not really contribute much to uh, contribute as a response from our side. What is important is to tackle those guys who are behind this heinous crime, and they are the people who are sitting across the border. It is a Pakistani establishment. It is not even local guys. It is a Pakistani establishment at the highest level. So our responses would be in terms of military response can definitely not be will never definitely not be ruled out. It can also be in the way of economic responses, like somebody was mentioning that abrogation of the industry tea on water sharing. That's a very, very, it will hit Pakistan the worst. The upper three rivers, Indus, Chenab, and Jhelum, the waters are supposed to flow into Pakistan. Despite the three wars that have gone through, we have gone through, despite the Kargil incident, despite the insurgency, India has not abrogated from this treaty. We've been standing by it. We've been sharing waters with them. But now, probably that is one of the options open to us. We have to take a stern action. And unless, why we've seen peace in the last 5, 6 years? It is because the government has been focused on tackling the origin of the problem, that is people from across Pakistan. Why it did not have from 1990 till 2020? Why was the problem continuing? That is because we were trying to solve this problem locally rather than tackling with people who are across the border. So our response this time will be primarily focused on people from the establishment across the border. It can be through economic, diplomatic, and definitely through military means. How, when, and where will be our choice. We will choose the time, place, and opportunity to execute our plans.
Okay, sir. Now, for my last question, do you feel that this is an intelligence failure? If so, what do you think are the lessons that need to be learned, and what are the steps that you would recommend so that something so horrific would never happen to us?
I cannot rule out the possibility of a intelligence failure. In any case, if people have been able to sneak in, take 29 innocent lives, we cannot say for certain that our intelligence has been very sound. Having said that, it is not a very easy thing to track movement of every individual. It is not easy to keep track of every militant who comes into the across into our border. And uh, of course, our intelligence capability has multiplied manyfold. We have technical intelligence, we have human intelligence, But definitely, some of these things it was missed out yesterday. I'm sure the army and other responsible people will definitely be looking into it so that such a repeat doesn't take place.
Okay, sir. Now, for the last part of that question, sir, what are the steps that you would recommend so a terrorist attack of this scale would never happen?
First and foremost is we cannot say for sure that such an incident will never happen. We have seen what has happened in Israel on 7th of October 2000. And you have seen the response of Israel. They have actually demolished Gaza in toto. But yet, very recently, we've had militants fire into Israel. So it is not to expect militants to be wiped out militarily. Uh, uh, it may not really happen. So it has to be a combination of military, diplomatic, and political moves. And to achieve this, we have to tackle the origin of this problem. The origin of this problem is Pakistan. And as you would have seen, last few years, we've been dealing with Pakistan very sternly. We have not had much of diplomatic relationships. We have not been playing cricket with them. We the interaction with them have been totally reduced. So we will have to undertake various means, including undertaking covert operations to deal with militants who are behind such incidents. So that's the only way by which we can get some kind of a guarantee of peace rather than having a repeat of such incidents later.
Okay, sir. Thank you. Thank you so much for sitting with us and giving your learned views on an incident that seems to have traumatized all of India. Thank you very much, sir.